Hey, what it do, y'all? Welcome to Phantom Frequency. This is where we get into the entire multiverse of pop culture, whether that's comic book movies, anime, music. We talk about it. So make sure you jump below the video and make sure you leave a comment, you leave a like, and subscribe, hit the bell, all that good jazz. It really does help support the channel, and we're always trying to grow we're always trying to grow this community and keep all that keep the positivity and the subjectivity, and just having a good time talking about the things that we love. But today we're going to be getting into the show that I love the most right now, and I'm talking about The Penguin, baby. Episode 3 just dropped today as of the recording of this video, and we're getting into it, y'all. And I gotta say, I don't know. I don't know what my favorite episode of the show is. This show is just fucking incredible, man, and it just keeps getting better and better and better with every episode, man. And the whole dynamic with Oz and Sofia Falcone has been phenomenal. Milioti and Colin Farrell are absolutely killing it. And I got to say, given my overall thoughts of the episode right here off top, I loved it. It's another great episode, man. The tension just continues to rise and get steeper and steeper and steeper with every passing moment. Just the opening of the show and everything like that, or the opening of this episode, I should say, showing the flashback of how Victor's family got killed during the no man's land bombing, if you will, that Riddler did towards the third act of the Batman, and how that completely wiped out his family and his whole neighborhood. This was already alluded to in the previous 2 episodes, of course, especially in the last episode when the working girl had brought it up. But now we actually get to see firsthand what Victor had to experience and the trauma that he's carrying with him post that event happening, and what kind of got him into the situation where he had to start stealing rims and jacking people's shit, and ended up running into Oz Cob, and the rest is history. And the rest we've seen play out on screen. And I just love the way that they're able to seed even more things and give you more of a sense of understanding of who Victor really is as a person, who he was before he ran into Oz Cob, and who he truly is in the essence of who his character and his family and the things that inform and made him the person that he is and the young man that he grew to be at this present time. And I love that, man. Just getting to meet his family and his friends, getting to see him with his lady, um, Graciela, my apologies, his girlfriend, and getting to see their relationship and how things were before everything going down, and how they're both orphans now, and she's even getting the hell out of Dodge, and she keeps telling him like, come with me, and he even agrees to at one point, but also feels like he's a little bit held hostage and he can't escape this life, and he has to continue doing what he's doing, and he can't go off to California with Graciela, which is completely false because Oz is not holding him captive. He actually is starting to really develop feelings for him, and that was the other thing I really loved about this episode, is the dynamic between Oz and Victor, and getting to see the true feelings that he has for Victor as like almost a surrogate son or like a younger brother, you know what I'm saying? And the way that Oz is really taken to him and really wants to inspire him to go all in on this stuff, but really give him everything that he's never had before and give him a better life. And I think that is actually truly genuine from the Penguin. And it's really hard to tell when he's bullshitting and when he's really being genuine with somebody. And that's the beauty of the way they write the series and the beauty of Colin Farrell's performance as the character. And that plays well here as well. And getting to see the dynamic between him and Sofia trying to get over on Vidi and Luca, her uncle, and the brother to Carmine Falcone, RIP to him, and getting to see how they're making a coup, if you will, to try to work with the triads in order to take them out. I love that whole dynamic of Oz continuing to do what he does best, bullshit, bribe, and negotiate his way into getting into a good situation for himself. But the whole dynamic that he has with Sofia was just so phenomenal throughout the episode, and getting to see Colin Farrell and Kristen Milioti really get to play off each other. And I think there was even a little bit of improvisation there, which is phenomenal. And getting to see how they really do have a true kind of they have true feelings for each other in the sense of they did care about each other at one point. And I think Sofia feels very betrayed by Oz, and he was her driver. So I think they did develop some kind of a closer relationship, a la similar to what Oz has with Victor, but in a different way. I don't think it was anything sexual, if I'm being honest. And it's not just because the Penguin looks the way he does. I just don't think there was anything sexual there with the age difference and things of that nature. Oz doesn't seem like he would creep on a young girl that's the daughter of someone that he's working with or someone that's a colleague of his. Doesn't really seem to be his style. He seems to go for women that are more closer to his age, and goes for more women that are alphas and kind of doing their own thing and kind of outside of where he's working and whatnot. Due to the fact that he's dealing with the one lady that kind of runs her own stable of working girls and whatnot. So getting to see that element play here was super awesome. And this the whole episode from beginning to end was just phenomenal, man. And just the way that the tension keeps rising. And now the Maronis are on fucking Oz's ass. He betrays Sofia right after he's trying to earn her trust. Literally, moment after he literally, she says, like, I don't know how to trust you moving forward. Like, I don't know how to even get there. And now that's fucking done. The ties have been severed clean forever, for sure. And this shit just got crazy because now she's going to be aware that Penguin is the rat, so that's going to want to make her go against him and maybe even work with her uncle enough in order to take his ass out and to get revenge for what's going on. I don't think she's going to buy it about her brother either. I think she's going to fully pin it on him, which rightfully so because he's the one that did it. But you know what I'm saying? She's going to go be all gung-ho against this guy for good. There's no turning back at this point at all. And the fact that he sold her out in the sense and didn't realize it, I don't really think he truly knew at the time, per se, that her father was going to throw her in Arkham, because that's some pretty fucked up shit. We all know the deal with Arkham Asylum. You got people like the Riddler and the Joker in there right now. So that, I feel like, even made her mental health deteriorate and get worse. I think it did the complete opposite, and I think that was the intention. Get her off the fucking board, and who gives a shit? Get rid of this bitch. I think there was already maybe something there and a seed of some issues going on, but I think Arkham completely helped her out in the negative direction and gave her the crazy eyes for real. You know what I'm saying? So that whole element to me played super well. Of course, and as we kind of recap some of the bigger moments in here, like the conversation between Victor and Graciela, when he invites her over to Oz's place, and they kind of have a pseudo date for a moment there, and she gives him the, gives him the drops the information that drops the announcement that she's going to Cali, she's getting the hell out of Gotham, getting the hell out of Dodge, getting away from Crown's Point. Come with me, yo. Come on, let's go. And Victor was definitely considering it at the time, but out of fear and out of just anxiety and not being sure of where he stood with Oz and if he had the chance to get out of it or what, or is that betrayal? Does he have to stay loyal to him? That whole kind of internal conflict that Victor's going through is completely understandable and so well written in this show. And in the fact that no matter where you stand morally or where your background is, you know you're going to be conflicted just like him in this situation. And you know that it's good for him to get away from it, but at the same time, there's an opportunity there for him to get the kind of wealth, power, and flexibility and freedom that may be trying to do it from the bottom up over there in Cali. As we know, I'm over here on the West Coast, so I know it's definitely competitive out here. And if she's going to be trying to go to LA to get something better in that regard, and entertainment or whatever, it's a big mountain to climb. It's definitely an upward battle, and it definitely takes a lot of fortitude, a lot of strength, and a lot of passion, and a lot of luck to make it out there in that way. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Graciela. Is he ever going to hear from her again? Where's things going to go with Victor at this point, now that he pretty much went against the Maronis as well and kind of severed that tie that Oz was trying to work in their favor? So the way that all played such an integral part in the episode was really cool. Another moment I wanted to highlight, and my absolute favorite scene potentially of the entire episode, at least at this moment, man, was just the dinner that Victor had after the whole situation with him having to bribe the cop when he was in a loading zone when they were talking to the Yakuza. I mean, the triads, my bad. The triad, second in command there, if you will, and Oz trying to kind of giving him, a lot of that inspiration and trying to give him motivation to, be confident and not rush himself and try to get past that stutter and just let people have to be patient and take his time and get to where he's getting to in the conversation when he gets to it, and just having that that forthrightness and just standing up for yourself and not letting people walk all over you is definitely a good thing that I think Oz is trying to instill in him, even though he's doing it in ways that are more questionable or in ways that are morally kind of fucked up. But I think some of the essence of what Oz is trying to do for him as kind of a father figure or as a mentor in a sense is some positive things there. So that's the thing I love with it. It's just such a gray area with these two, but the scene was so well acted and played, and just their dynamic together as actors and their chemistry is also phenomenal. I don't think I really highlight that enough in these weekly recaps. I definitely want to give a lot of love to Renzy Renzy Feliz, I believe is his name. And he does a phenomenal job playing the character of Victor, and he really deserves to get a lot of shine for this as well. So I hope he just blows up after this and gets a lot of leeway on that. And then the whole confrontation between Victor and Oz when he reads the text messages of him looking like he's planning on leaving and him just being like, get the fuck out of here. You don't deserve this. You don't deserve this shit. Get out of here. Like, when I found you, you were a fucking nobody. Literally points a gun at his face and puts it up to his dome, man. Like, man, like, you're not held hostage here. You're not my fucking prisoner, like he likes to say. I'm over here trying to get Italian, man. But but for reals though, the whole confrontation with Oz and Victor in this scene was just so well done, so well acted, just a masterclass in how to have just dialogue and a conversation between two characters on screen, man. And he even feels betrayed, and you can really see the hurt in Oz's eyes, and really see that he really has grown such an affinity and a love for this kid. And it's kind of sad to see him feel like he got betrayed and whatnot. But now I think they're all in it together they're all in it together for better or for worse. So that's definitely great, but interesting. But the scene was just fucking phenomenal, man. And then, like I said, that scene between Oz and Sophia, with them kind of, airing out their grievances and their differences with each other, and him kind of, letting her know that, he did what he had to do because he wanted to get ahead in life and wanted something. He knew someone like himself just wouldn't have that opportunity. And coming from where he comes from, which is nothing, in one of the worst places in Gotham and in one of the worst places in the world, it's just there's not a lot of advantages and a lot of ways for him to do that. So he definitely didn't want to sell her out and get her locked up in Arkham, I don't think. And I think that was a genuine point that he was making that I think is heartfelt. But at the same time, you can definitely understand why Sophia would feel betrayed and all the fucked up shit she had probably had to go through and witness, and all the trauma and baggage that she's gonna have to carry with her moving forward. I think is just completely understandable, So that was one element of it that I thought was super awesome. And another scene that I wanted to highlight that I didn't end up finding a good image for was excuse me. Whew, allergies are tearing me up, y'all. But one scene that I wanted to highlight that I didn't necessarily get an image for was the scene with Victor having that PTSD in the club, man. When that lady was that one girl was actually hitting on him, and it seems like she was definitely interested, man, and wanted to see what was up with the VIC, you know what I'm saying? See what's good with Vic. And he has that trauma from the explosion and everything that the Riddler did and the Batman, and then just the loud noise of the club just that triggered him into having a panic attack, and that PTSD of that moment is really sitting with him to the point where he dropped a bunch of the bliss drug and all that stuff all over the place. And the girl had to help him clean it up and all that shit, try to keep it on the low. But they're making a killing with this drug, man, and it seems like it's definitely going to switch up things to come for sure. So I definitely wanted to highlight that moment, and the moment of Sophia and Oz going back and forth, negotiating with the leader of the triads and everything like that, and getting into the history with him and her father and all that stuff, and the way that they had such a great dynamic together, and her really taking power of the situation, really taking the bull by the horns and trying to really see this deal through. But Oz is the one that's able to close the deal. He's the closer. He ends up getting the biggest part of the commission, baby. He brings it in, gets him to agree to this to the deal and everything like that. So they're gonna start getting this bliss on the streets and really starting to make a push for this thing. And just the whole dynamic of that club scene and that whole sequence, if you will, in the back half of the episode, which is so phenomenal. And just the way that it ends on that cliffhanger with Vic driving off, having to ram into the fucking Maroni people and all that. So now the beef that they're going to have between them and potentially having beef with the Falcons, especially with Sophia herself, it's going to be a fucking powder keg for the rest of the series. But we do know you do know if you watch the preview, but from the preview, we do know that the fourth episode is going to be a flashback all centered on Sophia, her background with Oz, what she had to go through, and all the stuff going in Arkham, and everything that's informing her character going into this show and potentially in future seasons to come in the Batman crime saga, if you will. So I'm really hyped to see just Christina Milioti just get the whole fucking episode herself to really chew up the scenery the way she has and really get an understanding of this character and everything that went down previous to the Penguin and even the Batman and all the stuff that was going on concurrently while that was going on, and how that all comes to play, and how episode 5 into the final episode, which I think is episode 8, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to do some research to make sure, but I think after that, we're going to have another 4 episodes. So I think that back half is just going to get absolutely insane. But y'all let me know what you thought about this latest episode of The Penguin down below. I want to hear from y'all. What are some of your favorite moments? Do you love the way that this is really keeping the essence of the character and they doing it really with the gritty crime drama? Do you hate that they changed the name Cobblepot to just Oz Cob? Y'all let me know what you're feeling about this episode, what you're feeling about this series. It's got to be up there as one of my favorite, if not my favorite series this year. And I would put this on the level of Netflix Daredevil right now. But man, I'm got to keep it real. With these first 3 episodes, we ain't pulling any punches. We're staying true to the characters, and we're doing new things and exploring new territories and introducing new characters that are just as compelling as the characters from the comics. And that is the way that you do an adaptation, y'all. But I want to hear from y'all in those comments below. We got some really cool spooky content. Y'all see the horror decor. Y'all know what the deal is. So we're going to have some more horror content coming at y'all real quick. We got some crossover shit, and we're going to have a ranking for y'all this week. And we got a lot of fun stuff like Terrifier 3's coming out next Friday. We're going to have a spoiler review, getting into all the nitty gritty fucking nastiness that is Art the Clown and Damian Leone's fucking Terrifier saga, if you will. So we're going to be diving into that. We're going to have another review for Agatha this coming week as well. Episode 5, I believe we're on right now. So make sure you keep your eyes peeled for that. And we got our latest show, What's the Word, where we talk about a bunch of pop culture topics. Make sure you guys go and check those out. We got 7 episodes. Going to be making a playlist for that so y'all can dive into all the big news, pop culture topics, all the big announcements and everything like that. We already got some good topics. I'm already setting up and getting planned for the next episode. So make sure you keep your eyes peeled for that. These allergies are kicking my ass. So it's time for me to get up out of here, y'all. Thanks for sticking around to the end. If you did, much love to each and every one of you viewers out there. We love you. We appreciate you immensely. Into the moon and back. And until next time, make sure you stay safe out there, y'all. Have a great spooky season. Make sure you trick or treat. Don't smell any feet. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're into that thing on some Tarantino. I ain't kink shaming nobody out there, but time for me to get up out of here, y'all. Thanks for checking us out. We're going to be back next Sunday or Monday, potentially, depending on my scheduling. But I think by next Monday, you're going to see our episode 4 recap. But until then, make sure you stay tuned. Don't sleep. Much love. And peace out, y'all.